Hello Gunpla fans, this is Joe of Joe's Gunpla here with another video, and this will be the third and final installment of my adventures at ACen 2015. I know it's been a while since the actual event, but hey, it's still fresh in my mind. After all, it was my first convention. So, this is going to be about just the Bluefin booth and all the cool stuff they had on display, and the Gundam Builders World Cup, which I finally got to participate in, and quite a bit to talk about there. Some things and such, but we'll get to that. I'm going to start off with some footage that I have of just the booth itself, and then the entries, at least that were there as of the filming. I filmed a little bit before final entries had to be in, so I think one or two may have been left out. As a matter of fact, I know for sure that the guy who won for best large scale, he did a diorama, had like lights and moving parts and a whole bunch of electrodes. There was a Sinanju and I think an Astray in the diorama. I don't remember exactly. It was really awesome, and I know I didn't get that on camera, and I apologize to him for that. I think his name is Alex. I think that was his name. Anyway, but I did get the guy who won for best small scale, and the guy who I talked to for most of the trip, not trip, but like while we were all hanging out. He did the Heavy Arms Master Grade diorama. He was a cool guy. I wish I would have gotten his name. And then the girl who won, I didn't catch her name, and I didn't really get to talk to her. She seemed like she was kind of like, okay, there's a big crowd here, a little overwhelmed, and I respect that. Like, I totally get, like, when you're overwhelmed and, like, all of a sudden, hey, you're the winner and everyone wants to talk to you, and so I kind of backed off. I let her do her thing. But her Cubile is just amazing, and I'm sure if you've been following the coverage from Bluefin, Gundam.USA, and something else, someone else is covering it too, I don't remember, all on Twitter and Facebook. I'm sure you've seen the Cubile. Anyway, here's my footage. I'll let that roll, and then we'll come back.
Bless you. Thanks.
Luigi's going to his death. Let's drive.
Scouter, they actually have the action scouter. Dude, Travis, the action scouter for $15.
Eric, let's go.
I like this one. It's the same. Heavy arm. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. See the stories There's got like a race, Pink and green. Come on, you got this. I know that's it. You got the ACen shooting us all. Quite a bit. Sorry. The Levi section over there? Yeah. They lost money. And then they found out about it. What's the most y'all want? Like, you can tell that thing. It's kind of bumpy, so.
All right, so that was the Bluefin booth and all of the fantastic entries that were there. I loved every minute of it. It was just so awesome to go, and there's a whole booth dedicated to everything that I love. You know, just the Gunpla was priced really well. Like, and I buy, as most of you guys know, almost exclusively from Hobby Link Japan when the yen is as weak as it is, because it's the cheapest option. I know they're reliable. The only bad part is I have to wait a little bit for it to get here. And honestly, I've been using FedEx or EMS shipping, and it's usually here within a week. So it's not even that long of a wait. And I can wait that long if I buy something from Amazon. But yeah, the prices through Bluefin at the booth were practically spot on. The displays they had were really cool to look at. And the entries for ACen, it was the first competition in North America for this season of the Gunpla Builders World Cup. And I was, number one, really impressed with the turnout, because I didn't think there'd be that many entries. And number two, after seeing more entries from other parts of the country so far, I have to say the Midwest, we got to step up our game. Because like, we had some really good stuff, but I've been seeing some things from other places in the United States that just blew a lot of what I saw out of the water. So, yeah, I'm hoping I probably won't be competing next year because I don't think I'll be here. I'm hoping. But, yeah, I am working on... Excuse me. Whew, it's been a long day. I am working on an entry for next year, depending on where I'm at. So we'll see what happens. I do want to talk about the competition itself. Starts off with a little story. I had walked away. I was mingling, you know, hobnobbing with the other Gunpla Meisters in the area. And we were all talking, having a good time, whatever. And I had walked away for a bit to go, I don't know, take pictures or whatever. There's a lot to see at ACen. I'm not going to hang around the booth all day. And when I came back, a whole bunch of people were like, hey, this guy, he built this particular model kit in the case. He was talking, you know, saying bad things about your kit. And immediately I was like, really? Like, I want to be done with stupid drama. And like, come on. Like, whatever. I don't really care. I really didn't. It didn't bother me. Because everyone's going to have different opinions about what looks good and what doesn't look good and whatever. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, that's alright. I mean, I'm just here for fun anyway. That's basically what I told everyone. And it was dropped. And it's just, I don't know. Like, it's a Gunpla competition. Like, nothing major's at stake. No life and death situation. You're not winning a bunch of money. I mean, it's just Gunpla, it's just plastic. So, whatever. That was just a brief little downer. Anyway, so I knew my kit was going to stand out among what was there, not because it was like really good, but because it was very different. So after the competition, I asked the judge, what are some things that I can work on to sort of improve, perhaps for next year, or if I wanted to, enter any other modeling competition, like what can I do? So we went over and he looked at my kit again. He took out his notebook that he took notes about it with, and basically he said that the technical skills I've got down because I entered my Gundam Transcendence. It was in the video. The celestial stars with the kintsugi gold in the chest. And so yeah, he said, I removed all the seam lines. The V-fin was sharpened. The top coat was good. Like the painting was artistic, but he said like as an art student, he really liked it because he used to be an art student, or maybe he still was. I don't remember, but he said as an art piece, he really liked it, but it's not what the competition was looking for. So when you enter the Gunpla Builders World Cup, and if you guys haven't entered yet, because I know there's a few more conventions to go before we have all the entries for the United States, what they're looking for is they want you to load up a bunch of option parts. They want you to do some physical modifications. They want you to do stellar painting. They want all the seam lines removed. They want you to not only do really good painting, but paint the whole thing. Like, they want you to go as far as you can with your kit. They want it to be a war machine. They want it to look weathered. They want it to look just like, yeah. And he really stressed the add-on accessories and kit bashing and things like that. My kit was very simple. He didn't have the beam rifle, the bazooka, didn't have the core fighter, didn't even have the shield. It was literally just the Gundam with 2 beam sabers. And that's the way I wanted it. That's the way I did it. That's the way I envisioned it. As a matter of fact, the shield is in my hat. And it's never going to be with my Gundam Transcendence. It's just not the way I want it. And that's fine. But one of the things he said was, the Gundam didn't even have its shield. So Bandai is really stressing when they're doing their judging that this is going to sound kind of like I'm complaining or something, but they want you to spend money. They want you to buy big kits. They want you to put a lot of kits together. They want you to use a bunch of extra stuff from other kits and put it with your kit, and they want a big, flashy show of things. That's what they want. I'm not necessarily about that. So, unless I want to go that route, I will probably never win the Gunpla Builders World Cup, and that doesn't bother me. But if you're competing, and you're competing to win, that's what you need to do. Gotta drop that money, a lot of it, and give it to Bandai. Buy a whole bunch of models, put them all together, and create one of those monstrosities that we see win every year. Or at least get really recognized every year. They don't always win, but they get recognized because it's like a Gundam Mark II inside of some sort of a massive, like, hover bike or something, some vehicle, and it's just a whole bunch of parts slapped together in a succinct pattern, I guess. And that's what they want. And then it's painted really well. It may have some weathering or whatever. But really, I think what they're looking for is they want you to spend money. And You know what? It's Bandai's competition. You know what? They own Gunpla. They're selling it. They're trying to sell Gunpla. And they have this competition for building Gunpla. It makes sense. I'm not complaining. That is like a brilliant marketing maneuver. So that's what they're doing. Now that being said, I'm not mad at all. No reason to be. Compete in the competition. Even if I saw a couple kits show up that were literally just top coated, but the posing was really well. Or the posing was really well done. The detail painting was great. They didn't paint the whole thing, but they painted the eyes and stuff. I saw some people that did just some regular spray painting, and they didn't even paint the whole thing. They just painted sections. And you know what? Cool. I got to talk to a lot of people who have different building styles, different preferences, and it was a blast. It was just a good time talking to a bunch of people who love Gunpla as much as I do. And I think that is the most important part of the Gunpla Builders World Cup, is showing up, making some new friends. So that's it. That was my adventures of ACen, and until next time, happy building, guys. Be good to each other.